You know, this channel has gone through a lot of inactivity over the years. A lot of like start and stops. I do recall coming back in 2017, putting forward a couple videos, one of which got the usual 1,000 views that I had used to rack up, covering Chris Benoit, the 10-year anniversary, and then just pretty much after that, all the videos have been pretty much nil. The ones that obviously got the least amount of views were the podcasts, the Squared Circle Breakdown, which I actually had fun doing, but just because of scheduling conflicts and the show not growing, I just didn't really give a shit to do it anymore. So what have I been doing with my life? Well, as you can see on the very last video that I uploaded onto this channel, you can obviously see that I'm pretty much fucking about. That last video, pretty much there was no context to it. So allow me to explain to anybody who's never been to a WrestleMania or has ever attended WrestleMania Access or whatever. That was from commentary. Access usually has certain sectors of different activities that you can do. I guess you could say the same thing at WrestleCon, although I've never been to WrestleCon. WrestleCon, from what I see, is just mostly meeting some of the wrestlers that pretty much are not partaking in WrestleMania Access. But suffice to say, it was an activity that you can do. You can commentate a match with one of the commentators, and that was Rod Z from, I believe he commentates NXT UK. And that whole weekend I was cosplaying Owen Hart. So I pretty much kept up with the gimmick. That's basically the gist of it. I have another one. It's on my Instagram, but suffice to say, I have been around on YouTube just watching content. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of content from the era that I grew up in and the era that everybody remembers me from. There's not a whole lot of us still left from that point. I'm not going to go over specific names, but some people have either just been dormant on their channels have kind of like just fluctuated, or they've deleted their channels and whatnot, and I've still pretty much had my channel up, and you'll see some random activity here and there that I like to put out there, maybe get that little drive here and there, and I'll be quite frank, the drive that made me want to do this video is just watching some of the old videos from went as far back as 2009, 2010, when I was, I would argue that was the last time I was really active. Actually, last time I was really active was 2012. Ever since then, it's just been a little bit sporadic from here and there. But a lot has changed. A lot has changed even within the last year when I was doing videos. We have a new company for AEW, ran by Cody Rhodes, Brandi Rhodes, Tony Khan, etc., etc. And I'm really interested where that's going to go, because this is kind of what inspired me to do this video. Many years back, when I first got on here, to all the people who have never seen my videos, or for anybody who wasn't around during the heyday of the YWC, there was a company called TNA, which was supposed to be the company that was going to take WWE in this war that they were going to go in. And I remember specifically they were hyped as the next promotion to battle it out. And obviously, if you see where TNA has ended up over the last few years, you will know that it's laughable now to even think about. But this AEW is very serious. Because this AEW, ever since it's been initiated, you're hearing a lot of rumblings with WWE as far as, oh, we're not going to let certain talent go because we don't want them to go to AEW. They've even pot-shotted them on their television. Now, granted, WWE is, they kind of operate the same, but they kind of operate differently at the same time. Back then, all promotions that were not WWE were barely mentioned unless they were bought out by WWE. It was very rare that they would talk about another company. I mean, that's why the CM Punk pipe bomb promo, I shouldn't say that's the sole reason, but part of the reason it was so intriguing was that he mentioned two companies that have no affiliation with WWE. And it's just, it's now, I guess it doesn't matter because now they're involved with Evolve, Progress, OTT. They're involved with a bunch of independent promotions because Triple H has kind of gotten the reins a little bit. But it's just funny now that we've got this company and they're actually taking them very seriously. Or at least that's how it's coming off based on reports, if you want to believe the reports. It's funny because I remember years ago there was a supposed war coming with TNA and WWE, and that never really materialized into a true war. I mean, we kind of got there in 2010, but it wasn't a war. Let's face facts. Now we're getting a war, although it's going to be on Wednesday nights, and WWE is using NXT to counter it. I just think it's fascinating. It's fascinating to see how from 2006, when I first came on here, started talking about wrestling, and now seeing the differences between the wrestling landscape back then and the wrestling landscape now. I mean, obviously, there's many things that have happened along the way, but to get to where we are at this point it's quite intriguing, to say the least. And I am excited. I'm excited to see where everything goes, and I'm sure everybody else in the wrestling world is very excited. If you want to see more content, I'm hoping that this isn't going to be another one of those one and done or a few videos here and there. I do want more of a presence. It's just that, do you really care to see me? That's the question. Do you care to see any more content from me? You gotta remember something, that you're not gonna get the same exact content that you saw in 2007. In 2007, I was 18 years old. I was young and stupid. I've done and said things on this channel that I do regret and have learned from. Not that I've removed some of the content that I am ashamed about, because I want people to understand that the person that you saw back then is the different person that you're seeing right now in front of the camera. And I still talk fast. That I'm just not as angry or eviscerating to the products that I once were. It's just not the way that I handle myself. Maybe I can talk about certain things that are going on in the wrestling landscape, but I'm just not that same person anymore. So maybe that's why I don't have that grab, but maybe I can offer something else. We'll have to see. So another just daily update, but I guess I'll end it on this note because, as I said to everybody, I did cosplay Owen Hart, but anybody who's just only familiar with my YouTube channel but not my my Facebook or everything, this was the gear that I donned, and hopefully it will appear on one of the WWE documentaries, hopefully. And I have another piece of gear done of Owen Hart. If maybe I'll make a video about that. Maybe I'll talk about this recent thing with Owen. So yeah, that's all I gotta say, and enjoy the rest of your nights.